Hey guys, what's going on? It's Billy here from the best place to buy gold online. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and if you haven't done so already, I highly recommend you check out my website, goldfinancial.de. Go ahead and register yourself for a free account. So, I just want to talk to you about quickly through this article. It's a great article from Simon Black at Sovereign Man, and it's titled "The ECB Blames You for Negative Interest Rates." And it's just a psychotic BS, if you will, that they put out there to believe you that you are the one that's at fault here. You are the one it's to blame here. And in a way, I suppose we are to blame because we put up with their crap. We've generations and generations have put up with their lies and never really questioned anything that's obviously been put in front of it. Not until sort of the internet's come along that this great awakening has come and this shift in awareness, and that we're now starting to see through it. But I just want to read this article to you. It's a really great article, and he starts off obviously talking about just after sunrise on April 19th, 1775, a large contingent of British military troops arrived in the town of Lexington, Massachusetts. They were under the orders to search for and confiscate all weapons and munitions for the colonials, something the British Army had done countless times before. In many ways, it was a routine operation, and yet that morning roughly 80 local militiamen stood blocking their path. Paul Revere had ridden through Lexington only hours before to warn residents of the approaching threat. There was a lot of yelling and tension between the two sides, and amid all the confusion, someone fired his musket, then another, then another. Historians today are still unclear which side shot first, though much of the evidence points to Han Solo. And though few people realised at the time, those turned out to be the opening shots of the American Revolution. This is how revolutions often start. People who have reached their breaking points engage in small acts of defiance that quickly escalate out of control. We've seen this pattern over and over again. The Arab Spring uprising in 2011 started with a Tunisian fruit cart merchant who lit himself on fire. Revolution ensued. 2014 revolution in Ukraine started when police violently clashed with peaceful anti-government demonstrators. Revolutions, of course, can take many forms. There are social revolutions, political revolutions, and even financial revolutions. And that's what we're seeing today, a financial revolution. Now that interest rates are negative in many parts of the world, the financial system has become an incredibly destructive force. Negative rates adversely impact the lives of just about everyone, from the average guy on the street all the way to the banks themselves. A few key players have reached their breaking points and are starting to engage in acts of defiance. I told you recently how the Bavarian Bank Association in Germany advised its members banks to hold physical cash instead of reserve deposits with the European Central Bank at negative interest rates. Some major insurance funds are also jumping on board, choosing to hold physical cash instead of bank deposits, earning negative interest. In its efforts to avoid negative interest rates, the canton of Zug in Switzerland asked its citizens to delay paying their taxes. Now even the political and media establishment in Germany are rebelling against the ECB, saying that negative interest rates chip away at the savings of pensioners. In response, the ECB opted for the blame the victim approach, pointing the finger at all us little people because we've been saving too much money. So, according to the unelected bureaucrats who printed all the money to begin with, people have been saving too much. Consequently, everyone must be punished with negative interest rates, and they're your fault. That's like a rapist saying she deserved it. It was an appalling response and astonishingly stupid. You're supposed to save money. That's what the universal law of prosperity is based on. Produce more than you consume. Save more than you spend. Penalising savers is the exact opposite of what bureaucrats should be doing. But people are starting to figure this out. The resentment is growing, even within the financial system itself. Remember that modern money is backed by nothing but unelected bureaucrats and their inspired economic theories. The only way this system works is when there's unquestionable confidence in the people running it, almost to the point of blind obedience and willful ignorance. When that confidence wanes, the financial system can spiral out of control very quickly. We may be reaching that point soon and could look back on this period as the opening shots of the financial revolution. If you recognize that the financial system is destructive and want to make a change, your most powerful option is to stop using it, or at least reduce your dependence on it. And obviously it just goes on to talk about being part of the sovereign man is having a strong sense of freedom and independence, and that includes financial independence. And last week they talked about the importance of holding physical cash. You won't be worse off for taking some savings out of the banking system, and you will be protected against problems like negative interest rates, bail-ins, or withdrawal controls. All of these, by the way, already exist or have happened recently. But cash is not a panacea, because if there really is a major reset in the financial system, your paper money might lose significant purchase power. That's why it makes sense to hold gold and silver in addition to cash. If there are any greater problems in the monetary system, your precious metals will turn out to be an extraordinary insurance policy. Silver is a better bargain right now based on historical ratios, but it's hard to imagine you can go wrong with either one. And he talks a very, very good point there, and I honestly believe that if you hold small amounts of cash, small amounts of gold, small amounts of silver, whatever you can actually afford to purchase, you really cannot go wrong. And if you're interested in finding out more about what we do over at Legacy Gold, and you want to start consuming, start saving, because you're not consuming anything, highly recommend you go ahead and check out my website, which is goldfinancial.de. We're currently not live until tomorrow morning at 8 AM. We are currently updating our payment system, but we go live tomorrow at 8 AM. So be sure to check that out. And if you got value from this video, feel free to like, comment and share. And always remember that whenever the central banks go down this route, they are always going to look for a scapegoat, and the scapegoat is going to be you. So don't listen to their BS. Trust your instincts. Start purchasing gold. Start looking out for your family's future. Start looking out for your future, and protecting your wealth from what's about to come. So there you have it, guys. I hope you got value. If you did, feel free to like, comment, share, and I'll see you on the next video. Take care. Bye bye.